4, 3, 2.
Remember when the CW meant sparkly vampires and Upper East Side drama? Then, in 2014, they dropped 100 teenage criminals on a radioactive Earth, and suddenly, teen TV got dark, real dark. A Charlie Brown Christmas landed with Peanuts charm, but the 100 landed with survival, moral compromise, and a body count that made Game of Thrones look gentle. Today we're diving into 15 weird and wonderful facts about the show that proved the CW could do more than love triangles. Now before we get into it, hit like and subscribe for more deep dives into shows that weren't afraid to kill off fan favorites. Let's start with number 15. The show was almost canceled before it even aired.
Sky Crew will not take the bunker alone.
When CW executives first screened The 100, their reaction wasn't excitement. It was panic. The test audiences were confused, too violent for teens, too dark for the CW's brand. Network suits wanted major changes, more romance, less death, maybe add some humor. Creator Jason Rothenberg had one counter-argument. Game of Thrones just proved audiences want real consequences. The compromise? They buried it in mid-season with minimal promotion, essentially setting it up to fail quietly. Then something unexpected happened. Social media exploded. Clark Griffin was cast 3 weeks before filming. From a bathroom in Australia, Clark Griffin is the lead. The entire show lives or dies with her character. So naturally, 3 weeks before cameras rolled, they still hadn't found their Clark. American actresses kept reading the character wrong, either too soft or too calculating. Casting was getting desperate. Then someone saw a self-tape from Eliza Taylor, an Australian actress known for the soap Neighbours. Her audition was filmed at 2 a.m. Sydney time in her bathroom on a phone camera. She got the role 48 hours later, flew 14 hours to Vancouver, and landed on set the day before shooting began. H. The Grounders speak a real constructed language. Trigedasleng isn't just random syllables, it's a fully functional language with grammar, verb conjugations, and over 2,000 words. Created by David J. Peterson, the linguist who invented Dothraki for Game of Thrones. It's based on evolved English after 97 years of isolation, showing how language naturally degrades and rebuilds. Your fight is over becomes you gon play stay odon. Actors had to learn phonetic pronunciation for every single line. Marie Avgeropoulos, who played Octavia, became so fluent she could improvise dialogue in Trigedasleng. Peterson didn't just create vocabulary, he built cultural context explaining why certain words survived and others transformed. The culling scene traumatized everyone on set season 1, episode 10. The Ark is running out of oxygen. The math is simple and brutal. 320 people have to die so the rest can survive. Not from a villain, not from battle. Just mathematics and sacrifice. They filmed the mass culling over 3 days in a freezing aircraft hangar. Extras playing parents saying goodbye to children they'd never see again. Isaiah Washington, who played Jaha, said he couldn't stop crying between takes. The crew reported it was the hardest scene they'd ever filmed. No dramatic music, no heroic speeches, just silence and grief. Finn's death was decided the moment he pulled that trigger. Thomas McDonnell's Finn was a main character, charming and fan-beloved. Then the season 1 finale happened. Finn massacred 18 unarmed grounders in cold blood. Rothenberg knew immediately there was no coming back from that. He has to die. You don't redeem genocide. Networks don't kill fan-favorite love interests, especially not as consequences for their actions. The writers' room spent weeks trying to find another way, but the show's moral backbone demanded accountability. Clark mercy-killing Finn was decided 6 months before they filmed it. Eliza Taylor didn't know until she got the script. She called Rothenberg crying, "You're making me execute my best friend." Mount Weather was filmed in an actual abandoned Cold War bunker. Season 2's Mount Weather facility isn't just a set built on a soundstage. Season 2's Mount Weather facility isn't just a set built on a soundstage. It's real. They filmed inside a decommissioned Cold War emergency bunker outside Vancouver, built in the 1950s to house government officials during nuclear war. It had been abandoned for 30 years, rusted, flooded, and genuinely unsettling. Production needed special permits and hazmat clearances just to enter. The crew discovered original radiation suits, faded civil defense posters, and 1960s emergency supplies still sitting on shelves. Those sterile white hallways and creepy medical bays? Actual Cold War infrastructure. Lexa's death accidentally changed television forever. March 3rd, 2016.
That thing killed Emerson in seconds. Liquefied his brain. Hey, try doing that hanging upside down.
Lexa dies from a stray bullet minutes after a pivotal love scene with Clark. It wasn't just any death. It was textbook bury your gays trope. LGBTQ plus character finally finds happiness, then immediately gets killed. Fans didn't just complain, they organized a movement. Der LGBT fans deserve better trended worldwide for 3 straight days. Over $100,000 was raised for the Trevor Project in Lexa's name. Major publications ran think pieces on TV's treatment of queer characters. Rothenberg apologized but defended the story choice. War has casualties regardless of sexuality. The truth? Alicia Debnam Carey was contracted for Fear the Walking Dead and had scheduling conflicts, but the damage was catastrophic. The show filmed in the exact same forest, where Edward sparkled. Every outdoor Earth scene in seasons 1 through 5 was filmed in Murren Park, British Columbia. The exact same forest where Bella and Edward had their meadow scenes in Twilight. Also where Percy Jackson fought monsters, and where Once Upon a Time filmed The Enchanted Forest. It's Vancouver's go-to mysterious wilderness location. The 100 crew would regularly find buried remnants of old Twilight set pieces while scouting locations. Bob Morley joked they were camping where vampires used to sparkle. The forest became an unexpected fan pilgrimage site, with people recreating scenes and leaving tributes. Production eventually had to hide exact filming locations because crowds would show up mid-shoot. Octavia Blake was supposed to die in season 1. Marie Avgeropoulos originally auditioned for Clark and didn't get it. They offered her Octavia as consolation. Small supporting role, dies early to motivate Bellamy's character arc. That was the plan. Kill the girl under the floor to fuel her brother's redemption story. But Avgeropoulos brought such raw intensity, they kept rewriting her survival. The girl under the floor became Skyrepa, Death from Above, the most feared warrior across 6 seasons. Rothenberg later admitted, "We didn't plan Octavia's arc. Marie forced us to keep writing for her. Her fight training was so extreme she performed 90% of her own stunts. She dislocated her shoulder twice, broke ribs, and kept filming." The show. Accidentally predicted, listened to multiple times, Season 2 introduced the Harvest Project, where Mount Weather drains grounder bone marrow to gain radiation immunity. Sounds like pure sci-fi horror, right? In 2018, scientists published research in the Journal of Clinical Investigation, proving bone marrow transplants can actually transfer radiation resistance between subjects. The show's science advisor based it on theoretical 1990s research that was just becoming practical. Season 4's Nightblood concept, where genetic modification allows radiation resistance through altered blood chemistry, seemed equally far-fetched. Then 2019 research identified specific genes that protect against radiation damage, using mechanisms eerily similar to the show's simplified version. Bob Morley and Eliza Taylor got married in real life, and no one knew. Bellamy and Clark. Balarchy. the will they won't they that defined 7 seasons and launched 1,000 fan theories. The show kept their relationship ambiguous, never quite making them canon. Fans shipped them obsessively, analyzing every glance and touch. Then, June 2019 happened. Bob Morley and Eliza Taylor casually announced on social media they'd gotten married. Not engaged. Married. They'd been secretly dating for over a year. Absolutely no one knew. Not cast members, not crew, not the fandom that documented their every interaction. The wedding was in Hawaii, super private. Roughly 20 people attended. They kept it hidden because they wanted to maintain separation between work and personal life. The season 5. Time jump happened because of budget cuts. End of season 4. Clark watches her friends fly away, stays behind on irradiated Earth, seemingly alone. Then season 5 opens 6 years later. Fans assumed this massive time jump was always part of the master plan, a bold narrative choice. It wasn't. It was money. The CW slashed the 100's budget by nearly 30% for season 5. They couldn't afford the elaborate battle sequences, the massive cast, the multiple expensive sets. The time jump allowed them to reset everything cheaply. One bunker society, one space station, smaller cast, minimal location shooting. Rothenberg later admitted, "We turned a financial disaster into a narrative opportunity, but it wasn't the original vision. That's why season 5 feels so tonally different from everything before." The series finale was filmed during COVID-19 and almost didn't exist. Season 7 filming started in February 2020. By March, COVID-19 shut down the entire world. They'd completed 13 of 16 episodes. The finale was unfinished. Production halted immediately. Cast and crew were scattered across multiple countries: Australia, UK, US, Canada. Border closures, mandatory quarantines, insurance complications. The 100 could have ended on a permanent cliffhanger, unfinished forever. August 2020. They received special government permission to resume under strict pandemic protocols. The entire cast quarantined for 2 weeks in Vancouver. Filming happened in masks between takes, with daily testing and strict social distancing. Some actors couldn't return due to travel restrictions, forcing last-minute script rewrites. Clark's most iconic line was never in the script. Season 3, Episode 11. Nevermore. Clark is defending her increasingly morally questionable leadership choices to her friends. The scripted line was straightforward and forgettable. "I do what I have to do to protect my people." Generic leader dialogue. During filming, Eliza Taylor improvised something else. "I bear it so they don't have to." 5 words. Rothenberg heard it in playback and immediately stopped production. That's it. That's Clark's entire character distilled into one sentence. The writers retroactively put it in the official script. It became Clark's defining mantra, repeated across 6 different episodes throughout the series. Fan tattoos, merchandise, video essays, academic papers analyzing the show's moral philosophy all center on this line. The show was supposed to end after season 5, and you can tell. Damocles Part 2, the season 5 finale, feels like a perfect series ending because it was written as exactly that. Rothenberg confirmed years later that season 5 was planned as the final season. The narrative arc completes beautifully. Humanity leaves destroyed Earth, survives in space, finds a new planet, fights over resources, then returns to a healed Earth to start over in a lush valley. It's thematically perfect. Then the CW surprised everyone by renewing for seasons 6 and 7, 2 seasons never intended to exist. That's why season 6 suddenly introduces multiple new planets, time dilation anomalies, and entirely new mythology out of nowhere. The Primes, Sanctum, the Anomaly. None of it was in the original master plan. The entire first season was filmed before a single episode. Aired, here's the wildest fact. The CW filmed all 13 episodes of Season 1 before the pilot ever aired publicly. Standard practice, right? Except the network hated what they saw. After screening the completed season, executives seriously considered not airing it at all, taking the financial loss rather than the reputation hit. They thought it was too violent, too bleak, too different from their brand. The only reason it aired was contractual obligations to advertisers and the astronomical cost of replacing an entire season of programming at the last minute. They'd already sold the commercial slots. Pulling it would mean admitting they'd wasted millions on a show they were now too embarrassed to broadcast. And there you have it. 15 weird and wonderful facts about the 100. From improvised iconic lines to secret on-set marriages to accidentally influencing actual NASA research. Which fact shocked you most? Did we miss something crucial? Let us know in the comments. Hit like if you're still not over that Season 3 decision, subscribe for more deep dives.